So yeah, let's get started. 7 things I learned in the first week of the NBA restart. Number one, Devin Booker is a superstar. He's not a star. He's a superstar. He's barely 23 years old. He got drafted number 13 on the 2015 NBA draft, which was a very very good pick by the Suns. He's always been a scorer. He could always shoot the three since day one. He's been a sniper. Um, he's probably the best player from that draft class. Him and Towns are the two best players that came out of that draft class. Um, he's killing it right now, man. That game winner he had against the Clippers, that was something special, man. Like he has a lot of qualities that you're looking for in a shooting guard in today's NBA. He could shoot from anywhere. He could attack the rim. He has pretty good height for his position. He's 6'5". He doesn't back down from anybody. He's just a star, man. He's averaging 30 points since the NBA restarted, which is higher than his season average. The Suns are 3-0. They have beaten the Wizards, the Mavs, and the Clippers. And beating the Wizards is not like a big thing. Like, the Wizards are like the worst team that got invited to the NBA bubble. But beating the Mavs and beating the Clippers, that's impressive. That's very, very impressive. The Mavs, they're one of the dark horses in the West. They have Luka, another great young player. They have Kristaps Porzingis. And then just beating the Clippers, one of the favorites in the West to come out. A lot of people's favorite to win the whole thing. Having to go up against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, which are two of the premier perimeter defenders in the NBA. To be able to be 3-0 against that type of competition, that, says something about the Suns. But mostly just about Devin Booker. Like, the Suns don't really have another star. DeAndre Ayton, he's pretty good, but he's still very, very young. Younger than Devin Booker. And other than that, like, their team is not that special. And to be 3-0, that just means, Devin Booker's putting that team on his back. Like I said, averaging 30 points since the NBA restarted. Unfortunately for him, he does play for the Suns. They're 3-0, but since they were the worst team that got invited in the Western Conference to the bubble, they still have quite a ways to make it to the 8th or 9th seed and to be able to be in the play-in for the playoffs. They are 3-0, and they are playing pretty good. Devin Booker looks like, he could put the team on his back, but I don't have them making the playoffs. Like, they're just still, like, I believe 2 games out from that 9th spot. So I don't see them making up that ground in these, like, 5 games they have left. With that being said, just getting some wins together in a row right now, it's great for the team. Build confidence for next season. Hopefully they're able to build on this, and next season they could have playoff. They could have higher aspirations. I still don't think the Suns, even next season, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. I know there's still the draft and free agency and stuff like that, but just the way the roster is built right now, like, they have a lot of holes. Unfortunately for Devin Booker, this is his first year of his 5-year max contract he signed a couple years back. So after this season, he still has 4 more seasons before he could hit free agency. I have a feeling that he's not gonna finish that contract though. But the Suns, like, I just don't see the Suns being able to build a competent team around him that he'll feel comfortable, staying there and signing a long-term and just signing another long-term contract after this. I feel like he's gonna request a trade within the next 2 years. Players now in the NBA feel more and more compelled to ask for trades. They don't just stay in a weak team. Like, they ask for trades. AD asked for it, Paul George. Player movement in the NBA. NBA players are empowered to do what they see is right for their career, and I think Devin Booker is gonna be the next guy to ask for a trade and leave a team. But with that being said, he's a superstar. He's killing it in the bubble, and hopefully the Suns are able to keep him, and hopefully everything goes good for them. The number 2 thing I learned in that first week of the NBA bubble, the Raptors are a very dangerous team. Everyone's overlooking the Raptors. I don't know why. They're the reigning champions. Kawhi left, but that team is deep. That team has potential to repeat again. They're probably the second best team in the East right now, and I would not be surprised if they made it all the way to NBA Finals. They have 5 players averaging 15 points or more. That includes Van Vliet, Lowry, Siakam, Ibaka, Powell. They're starting backcourt, Kyle Lowry and Van Vliet. They're both just 6 foot tall, but they could score from anywhere. Especially Van Vliet, man. Van Vliet, man, he's been killing it. If it wasn't for Bam Abedayo or Ingram, he would be there on most improved for this year. He's been killing it. He's not that quick. He's not that tall, but he just knows how to get to the spots. He's been killing it too since the bubble, in the NBA bubble, since the NBA started. Under Nobi, he's been another player that has looked really, really, really good. Last year he missed the playoffs. I think he had some surgery in his appendix or something, so he wasn't able to play. He came back for the finals, but he didn't get no minutes. But this year he's finally back and healthy, and that's just another wing presence that the Raptors have. He could shoot from 3. Lately he's been doing a lot of driving to the basket and finishing with the spin move. He's looked nice. He looked nice. Nick Nurse, he's gonna win Coach of the Year, man. When you have a great coach and good players, man, like you could go far in the NBA. Like NBA is one of the most. Basketball in general is one of the sports where good coaching could take you a long way. You could have a bad team and a good coach, and he can make the pieces work. And Nick Nurse is just making it work with the Raptors. He's definitely Coach of the Year this year. And, the Raptors have a better win percentage than last year, so I expect them to go far in the Eastern playoffs. But I don't know if they'll beat the Bucks. The Bucks are match up well against them, but if anybody is able to take out the Bucks, the Raptors can match up well with anybody else. Number 3, the Lakers. Lakers might be in trouble. I am a Laker fan, so hopefully, I'm wrong. But the Lakers are basically just AD and LeBron, and that's it. We have no guards. Like we signed Waiters and J.R. Smith, and they have both played atrocious, man. Waiters, he's shooting 40% from the field and 17 from 3. That's just terrible. He's a streaky player. He'll make like 4 buckets in a row like he did against OKC, but he started 0 for 7. So, he's just too streaky for my liking. I don't really like the way Waiters has been playing. Hopefully, he hadn't played in a while, so hopefully he's able to pick it up and he could give us something. But as far as our guards, man, J.R. Smith is shooting 12% from the field. He has yet to make a 3-pointer with us, so it's looking bad. Danny Green, since the restart, has shot 32% from the field, 20% from 3-pointer, and 3-pointer is supposed to be his bread and butter. KCP, 37 from the field, 23% from 3. Caruso, everybody loves Caruso, but he's struggling too. 36 from the field, 11% from 3-point line. Man, oh man, like we're getting nothing from our guards right now. It's just pathetic. It's not looking good. We need as much as I used to slander Rondo, we need. If they're all shooting that bad from 3-point percentage, like Rondo could at least be a good distributor of the ball. And we are really missing Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley can shoot the 3, and he's probably our best perimeter defender. But yeah, man, the Lakers, we have no guards. It's gonna be a struggle to get through the playoffs, with just relying so heavily on LeBron and AD. They are 2 of the top 5 players of the NBA, so I'm pretty sure they could. In the playoffs, stars shine in the playoffs. Playoffs is all about who has the stars. Rotations get cut and everything. Less players play. You really just depend on your stars, but still, to have that bad of a guard play from the Lakers is just, I don't know. It keeps me up at night. It doesn't look good. Hopefully they could get it fixed. We're gonna need Kuzma to step it up in the playoffs too. Like our big 3, AD, LeBron, and Kuzma, they're gonna have to just go all out, because we're not getting any valuable minutes from all the other players. But the Clippers, which are the other favorites in the West, they haven't looked that good either. So hopefully we're able to compete with them. But whew, man, Lakers they need better guard play. yesterday when they played the Thunder, KCP went down for like a second because he bumped into Chris Paul. And I mean, KCP is not like the greatest player, but just knowing that the Lakers are so thin at that guard position, when he went down, I was like, no, not another player that's out. Like that would be so bad. That would be so bad. Anyways, number four. The fourth thing I've learned since the NBA restarted: fit and opportunity matter a lot in the NBA or in any sports, but especially in the NBA. Case in point, T.J. Warren and Carmelo Anthony. T.J. Warren, you know, he's been a decent player throughout his career. He's basically been a good scorer. Carmelo Anthony, I mean, everybody knows what Carmelo Anthony has been with the Nuggets, with the Knicks. But then, as his skills went down and he couldn't find a role with the Thunder and the Rockets, everybody thought he was washed. Nobody wanted to give him a chance. NBA basically kind of blackballed him. Thankfully, the Blazers were able to give him a chance and let him come back to the NBA. But yeah, opportunity matters. Wherever you land, which coach you land with, how many minutes you're given at the beginning, if someone gets injured, it all matters. So that's why they say when you get an opportunity, you got to make the most of it. For T.J. Warren, he got traded for cash. Literally got traded for cash after being an 18-plus point scorer last season. I don't know what the Suns are thinking. That's part of their problem, why they've been so bad for so long. And now Oladipo, their main scorer for the Pacers, is recovering from an injury, so he's not the main ball handler right now. It's T.J. Warren, and he's shining. He's shining right now. He's playing really, really, really good. As far as the Suns, they got cash for him. I feel like T.J. Warren is a comparable player to Tobias Harris. Right now, he's playing better than Tobias Harris, but even like back then when he got traded for cash, I feel like he's maybe rated less than Tobias Harris. But I mean, the Clippers got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and Shamet for Tobias Harris, and the Suns got cash. It just speaks to the different trajectories that both franchises are going. But just cash, I still can't wrap my head around that. It's just Suns being the Suns. The Pacers, they have a nice little team. They can make some noise in the playoffs. They have T.J. Warren, Oladipo, Turner, Brogdon, Sabonis when he comes back. Hopefully he's able to come back pretty soon. That's a nice team. The East is no joke no more. The East has some quality teams now. LeBron left and the East got stronger. I mean, he probably left at a good time because the East now has the Raptors, the Bucks, the Celtics, the Pacers. Those are all quality teams next year. The Nets should be good with KD and Kyrie Irving. But yeah, number five thing that I learned since the NBA restart, Bam Abedayo is a monster. I feel like Bam Abedayo has the potential to be like a Draymond Green player, but like way better, like an athletic, longer version of Draymond Green. And Draymond Green, for all the hate he gets, he's won Defensive Player of the Year. He revolutionized the small ball lineup as being as a short 5 that could facilitate and do everything, start the fast break. That's Bam Abedayo. He's a good defensive player. He could legitimately guard 1 through 5 in the NBA, point guard to center. He could switch on anybody. He has quick feet. He could hop. He's a problem. And like I said, I didn't mention the Heat earlier, but the Heat, I don't think they could make the NBA Finals, but they'll be a thorn on the road for anybody that plays them. Nobody wants to see the Heat. Like, they'll be a problem. Just Spoelstra, he's a great coach. They just beat the Celtics, and they had no Jimmy Butler, and that just shows like how good of a coach Spoelstra is. He just makes it work. I mean, when LeBron was there, they just said that LeBron made him, but I mean, he's been able to keep his job, and he's been he just makes it work. He's a great coach, top 5 coach in the league, maybe even higher. I think he's top 5. The Heat, the Heat have they have a lot of players that can shoot the three. Tyler Hero, Robinson, stretch the floor pretty good. Dragic could shoot. The Heat are building something. If they're able to get like one more star, they have like the surrounding pieces to be able to go and compete in the next coming years. Plus, they have the coach, so that's pretty much what you need. A couple stars and a good coach. That's the recipe in the NBA. Number six thing that I learned since the NBA has restarted. The Western Conference playoffs is going to be a bloodbath. The West is so deep. Like, there's legitimately... There's the top two contenders, the Lakers and the Clippers, and then there's like four other like really good teams that could definitely upset either the Clippers or the Lakers. And once the Clippers or the Lakers are out, like, it's anybody's ball game. But right now, as it stands right now, Thursday, August 6th, we have the Lakers versus, I believe the Grizzlies and the Blazers, the winner of that play-in. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to be there at the end. I feel like they just lost Jackson Jr., their second best player. So I don't think they're going to hold on for that 8th seed. I believe it's going to be the Blazers and the Pelicans in the play-in. So it should be Lakers versus Blazers in the first round, which would be a great series. Clippers versus Mavericks right now. Nuggets versus Rockets. Jazz versus Thunder. All those series could potentially go 6 or 7 games. The Blazers, if the Blazers make it against the Lakers, that's a bad matchup for the Lakers just because, like I said, we have no guards, like no quality guards right now. And the Blazers, that's their strength. They have McConnell and McCollum, and they have Damian Lillard. One of the best backcourts in the league, going up against one of the best front courts in the league, and LeBron and AD. So that should be a great matchup. Clippers versus Mavericks, two of the best perimeter defenders against two of the best young duo in the league in Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic. Nuggets and Rockets, just two pretty even teams. Nuggets and Rockets, completely different philosophies. Nuggets, young team, super deep. Rockets, 2 stars, 2 bona fide stars that could go off for 40, 50 points each. Jazz and Thunder, they've had some playoffs matches already in the last few years. So that would be a good one. The Lakers and the Clippers, they're the favorites, but by no means, I don't feel like they're like the Warriors, where they'll just coast through the playoffs. Like, this is going to be one of the best playoffs in a long time, just for the fact that the NBA is more balanced now. Teams are they're not separated by that much. Like, I really believe that this is going to be one of the best playoffs we've had in the last 6-7 years. It's unfortunate that it's in the NBA bubble and we won't be able to be, present for these games, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. The number 7 thing that I've learned since the NBA has restarted is that the Sixers have to blow it up. There's no way the Sixers keep on going the way they're going right now. Like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I think that's true. They've had Embiid and Simmons for, I think, 4 years now, where they're all playing, and they're not progressing. They're like the 6th seed right now. So when they have the talent to be top of the conference, they should be leading the way in the conference, but they have not. I think Brett Brown should get fired. I feel like the only reason he still has his job is because he came from that Popovich coaching tree. He was assistant coach with Popovich for a good amount of time. So, they have him highly rated just because he came out of Popovich coaching tree. I feel like a lot of NBA teams, a lot of professional teams have this problem where if an assistant coach or any coach comes from a good, like, elite Hall of Fame type of coach, they try to make him more than he is. I know it happens a lot with Popovich. A lot of his assistant coaches have gone on to get head coaching jobs, and they just don't pan out because they're not Belichick. They were under him, but they're just not him. So I think that's one of the problems with Brett Brown. He's just not Popovich. No matter how much you want him to be Popovich, he's just not Popovich. And He's not. I don't feel like he's gonna take the Sixers to the next level. They have all the talent in the world: Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Embiid, and they're just not getting better. They let the Pacers score 46 on them on the fourth quarter, and then they follow that up with the Spurs scoring 43 on them. Milton was able to save them and get a W, but that just shows their defense is not good. They're lacking motivation. Defense is all about effort for the most part. Like if you could run around and just put in effort, at above average defense is just running and not giving up, and that has a lot to do with coaching. So Brett Brown, you gotta go. Simmons and Embiid, I mean, I feel like their game doesn't complement each other. Simmons can't shoot a three to save a life. There was a lot of videos during the NBA break, showing Simmons had worked on his 3-pointer. Everybody was getting hyped. Oh, Simmons gonna start shooting the three. Simmons this, Simmons that, and he's attempted 1 3-pointer in 3 games, and it just I feel like that falls on Brett Brown too. He's giving him too much leeway. He's kind of like let him not shoot. Like if a better coach would kind of pressure him, knowing today's NBA where the 3-pointer is such a big part of the game. Like you gotta have at least a threat of a 3. Like Simmons won't even shoot them. Like what's going on? Like come on, you gotta at least attempt them. That's the difference between him and Giannis. Giannis is not a good 3-pointer. He hasn't been for his whole career. I think he's had seasons where he's shot like 29, but you could tell that he's trying to get better. He at least attempts it. He's not scared to take the shot. Simmons is just super passive, super timid when it comes to the 3, and I think that falls on Brett Brown and his coaching staff. Like they gotta push him. They gotta like entice him to shoot, and they're just not doing that. So that was my last takeaway from the first week of the NBA basketball was that Brett Brown has to go. Brett Brown, Sixers, if you're listening to this, fire Brett Brown.